Oh, hey ET kids. This week I'm just editing some Sunday school videos, and we're gathering together a bunch of clips from over the past several weeks about the armor of God. I hope you like it. Welcome to Sunday school.
Set apart from the ash, I am born again, forever safe in the Savior's hands. You are more than words could say. I follow you over all my days. Fix my eyes, follow in your ways. Forever free in unending grace. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher. Lift you higher, your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us, nothing can take your place. You are all we need, your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. In the midst of the darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till the kingdom come. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us, nothing can take your place. You are all we need, your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. You are my freedom. We lift you higher. You are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us, nothing can take your place. You are all we need, your love has set us free. You are alive in us, nothing can take your place. You are all we need, your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh.
Kapow! Shazam! Bazinga! Oh, hey guys, sorry about that. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us at Evangel Temple for Sunday School today. I'm Captain Cool. It's just me, Christine. I am glad that you are joining us this new year for our Sunday School lessons. Give me just a moment while I slip into my regular people clothes. Take off my superhero shoes. In Sunday School for the next few weeks, we are going to be focusing on the armor of God. So God gives us all of these things that we can put on our body, just like I was wearing my superhero shoes and some glasses and a breastplate of tinfoil. God gives us tools in his Bible that tells us how we can fight against the devil's plans to take us away from him. So, for the next few weeks, you're going to join us and we're going to learn about putting on the armor of God to defend ourselves against all the evil things that are going on around us. We hope that you will join us and learn so much about how to be defensive, how to be superheroes. It was good to see you today. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next week because we're going to learn about what things we can put on so that we can be prepared to stand against the enemy. If you remember from last week, we started a new series talking about the armor of God. And we talked about superheroes wearing defensive armor or things that cover their bodies so that they can be protected against evil things. The Bible in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 and 11 tells us, we're going to go to our Bible, finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. This week, we are talking about the first piece of armor. This is our first piece of armor that we are going to talk about in our Armor of God series, the belt of truth. We have Eli and Zoe here, ready to participate in this challenge with you. Both of them have a pair of their dad's pants on, and they are going to try to walk without the pants falling down. But the challenge is that they cannot use their hands to hold the pants up. So these pants are really big. They're going to walk, and they are not going to use their hands to hold them up. On your marks, guys? Ready, Eli? Get set, go. Oh no! What's happening? What happened? They fell down. What would make a pair of pants stay up? A belt would. You're right. A belt would make a pair of pants that are too big stay up so that you don't trip and fall over them. When Eli and Zoe did their video, luckily they didn't trip and fall, and I hope the same is true for you. But what happens in real life is if we wear pants that are too big for us, they fall down and we trip on them and we get hurt. The Bible in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14 tells us to put on a belt of truth. So we know that a belt can be used to hold things up and to keep them in place. So if we think of a belt as a way to hold ourselves up, what would a belt of truth be? Belt of truth is a way that we can protect ourselves from the schemes of the devil or the plans of Satan. His plans are to take us away, and one of the ways he does this is by telling us a whole bunch of lies.
What is it that God's trying to tell us about the breastplate of righteousness? Basically, what we want you to know is that when we are right with God, it protects our heart from getting dirty with sin. Speaking of getting dirty, did you notice my shirt? Yeah. So my shirt is really, really, really dirty. It's got some stains on it, and no matter how I try to wash it, it's not really going to come off. And that kind of reminds me of sin. You see, God offers us not only a way to wash our sin, but protect us from further permanent sin stains. And this is what a breastplate is going to do. It's going to protect our heart from sin. Now, let me think about something I could cover this up with. Ooh, I know. What about a jersey? The jersey can cover up my stained shirt. And, well, what does it do? It identifies me with the team. What team am I supporting here? The Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe you support the Ottawa Senators. Or maybe you support Las Vegas. Well, when you wear a jersey, it identifies you with a team. And when you wear a breastplate, it also has a logo here, and it identifies you with a team. And we want to be identified with God's team. And so what happens is when we have our moment of salvation, when we say, you know what, God, I am a sinner, and I need forgiveness. Come into my life, forgive me of my sins so that I can live with you one day in heaven. God instantly forgives us. And at that moment, we receive his righteousness. Being right with God protects our heart from getting dirty with sin.
This week, we're going to learn about another piece of armor of God. And we talked already about the breastplate of righteousness, and we talked about making the right choice. And we've also are going to look at the gospel of peace. And did you know what? The Bible talks about the gospel of peace being shoes on your feet. When we have the right pair of shoes on our feet, that walking a straight line is no big deal, right? But when we have the wrong shoes on our feet, whether they're too teeny or whether they're just a little bit teeny, or if they're too big, then we would have trouble walking in a straight line. It's important for us to put on a full armor of God so that we are ready and that we're fitted with the gospel of peace. The gospel of peace means the good news of peace that Jesus brings. In John 16:33, it says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. We want to choose the right shoes so that when we go tell others about Jesus, we can show them God's love by living for him and sharing with them all that he has done for us. So put on your shoes, the gospel of peace, to tell others about him.
Hey, welcome to Craft Time with Miss Jen. I'm excited to be making a craft with you today. I will be letting you know what supplies you need right up front, but don't worry if you don't have those supplies. You can always watch the video now and come back and watch it again later in the week when you have those supplies. The videos are going to stay up on YouTube, so they'll always be there for you. So enjoy! Today, we're gonna make some monster boxes. These are so much fun and you can do so many different really cool things with them. So in order to make these monster boxes, you're gonna need a tissue box that's empty. Now make sure that it's empty for real. Don't just go and grab a box and pull out all the Kleenexes and leave them around your house. You know your mom's not gonna like that. You're gonna need some paper, any color, some white, you can use construction paper, you can use anything basically. You're gonna need some glue, some scissors, maybe you want to use some googly eyes, maybe you don't, that's okay. Some accessories for decorating, so maybe you have some pom-poms. If you don't, I made these pom-poms and I'll show you how to do that just with some yarn. So yeah, you can do that. Now, if you want to get really messy with your parents' permission, you could, instead of using paper to cover your tissue box, you could get some paint and paint the box, which would be kind of fun. I'm going to go with wrapping the box today, just because it's a little less messy, but you can do whatever you'd like. So the first thing I need to do is take out that plastic bit on the inside of the box. So I'm going to pull that out. Excellent. Now, once that plastic part is gone, now I'm going to wrap the tissue box, and I'm going to wrap it just like I would a Christmas present or a birthday present. Now, I'm using colored paper because that's all I have right now. And so clearly this piece is too small for my tissue box. So I actually glued two pieces together, and wouldn't you know it, it's still a little bit too small, but that's okay because I found a solution. So I'm going to wrap up my box, and so you can do that with whatever paper you have. You could even use wrapping paper to wrap your box. So I'm going to do that. Give me 1 second. Excellent. All right, so I have now wrapped my box, and you'll notice that I made the nice pretty side because I had to do a lot of kind of fixing to try and get my paper to cover the box. So I made the kind of messy looking side on the back, and the nice clean side is the side that has the hole in it. And so now I'm going to take my pencil, find that hole, and poke a little bit of a slit in there so that I can get my scissors in here and cut out the hole for my mouth. Now, of course, if you chose to paint your box, you wouldn't have to do that step because your paint would just go nicely up against your Kleenex box. Now, I didn't glue this, and it looks like I probably should have.
So let's see if I can add some glue on here. Make the paper.
Excellent. So now I have a mouth opening for my little monster dude, which is kind of fun. All right, now the fun part. I get to decorate my box however I'd like to make it be a monster. So you can see on my first monster that I made, I chose to have 3 medium-sized eyes, and I just took a circle that I found and I put my pencil on the paper inside and went whoop, and made myself a circle to trace and cut out for a medium-sized eye. For this monster, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to make one big eye. So I traced the outside of my curly Q ribbon, and now I'm going to add the eyeball to it. That's fun. All right, so I'm going to glue that right in around the center, and it doesn't really matter which way the eye goes because he's a monster, so he's just silly. Then I decided that I'm going to make 2 small eyes sticking up out of the monster's face here, out of his head. So let's see. And it doesn't really matter. Yours doesn't have to look like mine. You can make yours look however you want because it's all just using your imagination, which is a lot of fun. All right, now I think I want one eye to be taller than the other. That'll be fun, yes. All right, now maybe I'll make one, maybe one will be medium-sized. There we go. Oh, that is a lot of fun right there. So we've got 3 eyes. Let's give it some teeth. So I cut out some triangles of different shapes, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue and stick it. I'm going to stick it on the inside of his mouth so that his teeth are sticking up through the hole. It doesn't really matter where you stick the teeth, or even how many. Maybe you want your monster full of teeth. That would be kind of fun. All right. What do you think of this guy right here? Do you think he needs some pom-poms on his head too? All right, well, let's see. I think I'll make a blue pom-pom this time. So like I said earlier, I didn't have any pom-poms right here, but I do have some yarn. And making pom-poms is actually not too difficult. So I'm going to take my hand and the yarn that I have and just wrap it around a few times. Now, don't wrap tight because that hurts on your fingers. It'll cut the circulation off. So I'm going to take 3 fingers, and I'm going to kind of spread my fingers apart so that I don't wrap them too tight. And I'm going to wrap the yarn around and round and round and round and round and round for a little while. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then I can cut the end off. And then I'm going to loop another piece of yarn through here and tie it up right in the center. This would be a great spot if you had another person working with you, that they could help you, because this is really difficult to do one-handed. There we go. All right, so I tied another string right around the center of those loops. And now I'm going to cut right down the center of those loops. And you've got yourself your own homemade pom-pom. So now, this would be a great opportunity if you did have a hot glue gun. This would be a great opportunity to use the hot glue gun. I don't have a hot glue gun with me here, so I'm just going to use a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape down on one of the strings, and I'll tape in the corner. Let's see, maybe the tall one over here. Oh, very nice. And there you go. You have a fun do-it-yourself monster box. You could probably even like hide something in this night if you wanted to on your bookshelf. And you could make a whole clan of monsters, all different with different eyes and different accessories. And you can just have a lot of fun with that. So enjoy.